Hello everyone, and welcome to another of Sethaldor's World of Warcraft guides. We're going to cover Retribution PvP specking for the DPS Paladin. So, for picking Retribution, we get the ability Templar's Verdict, which is a heavy melee nuke attack, run off Holy Power. We also get Two-Handed Weapon Specialization, which provides 20% more damage with two-handed weapons. We get Sheath of Light, which provides 30% of our AP as spell power, and increases our chance to hit with spells by 8%. We also get Judgments of the Bold, which causes our judgments to grant us 25% base mana over 10 seconds. And our mastery is Hand of Light, which provides our auto attacks an 8% chance to grant the buff Hand of Light, which allows us to use an ability that would normally consume Holy Power and have it not consume Holy Power, as well as work as if it had 3 points of Holy Power behind it. Let's go ahead and pick Retribution and start filling in. For PvP, we have Eye for an Eye, which causes magical attacks against us to have a 40% chance to damage the caster for 30% of the damage done. Sounds good to me. Less incentive for them to hit me. Crusade will provide 30% increased damage on Crusader Strike, Hammer of Righteous, Templar's Verdict, as well as 30% increased damage and healing from Holy Shock, which we don't need to concern ourselves with because that's a holy ability. And also, in addition, after killing an enemy, for 15 seconds afterwards that yielded experience or honor, our next Holy Light will heal for 300% additional effectiveness. So that sounds good to me. After I kill a dude, I'll be able to heal myself up, and I'll kill him 30% faster if I use Crusader Strike, Hammer of Righteous, and Templar's Verdict. Next row. Also improved judgments will increase range of judgments by 20 yards. I promise you will be backfilling to that one. Next, we have Guardian's Favor, which reduces the cooldown of Hand of Protection by 2 minutes and increases the duration of Hand of Freedom by 4 seconds. We also have Rule of Law, which provides 15% more crit to Crusader Strike, Hammer of Righteous, and Word of Glory. And we have Pursuit of Justice, which provides 100% chance to gain a charge of Holy Power when struck by a Stun, Fear, or Mobilize effect. In addition, will increase our run and mount speed by 15%, which does not stack with other effects such as Crusader Aura. So, in this row, 15% more crit from Crusader Strike and Word of Glory, as far as we are concerned, is nice. 15% more chance to crit heal ourselves, and 15% more chance to crit the target with Crusader Strike is obviously a good thing. Need to spend 2 more to get to the next row, and the increased run speed will be nice, as well as the increased duration of Hand of Freedom, and the range on Judgment will also be nice. I'm going to grab the range on Judgment to unlock the ability in this third row. Next we have Communion, which will cause our auras to increase our party and raids damage dealt by 3% and our own by an additional 2%, as well as causing Judgment to grant replenishment to the raid and party, which does include ourselves. So definitely want to take Communion, because that is a total 5% damage increase for you personally. Also, next we have the Art of War, which causes our auto attacks to have a chance to make our exorcism instant free and cause an additional 100% damage. Causing 100% more damage with an instant free attack will be nice. You'll be able to exorcism on the run if you happen to get this proc. Definitely want to take it. That leaves 1 more point to spend before we can unlock the next row. We have Long Arm of the Law, causing our judgment to have 50% chance to increase our movement speed by 45% for 4 seconds when used on targets further than 15 yards away from us, which sounds really damn nice when you're chasing down that flag carrier. And we also have Divine Storm, which no longer runs off Holy Power and is now mana based after the Shattering. It also does share a cooldown with Crusader Strike and does 80% weapon damage to all enemies within 8 yards and heals 3 party or raid members, totaling 25% of the damage caused. I'm going to take 1 point and throw it in Long Arm of the Law, promising you to backfill that. Next row we have Rebuke, which is an interrupt, and it will lock them out of the school for 4 seconds. We also have Sanctity of Battle, which causes haste effects to lower the cooldown of Crusader Strike and Divine Storm abilities. We have Seals of Command, which will cause our seals to do 7% additional weapon damage each time we swing. And also, when we have Seal of the Righteous it will hit 2 more targets than it normally would. And also Sanctified Wrath increases the critical strike chance of our Hammer of Wrath by 60%, reduces the cooldown of Avenging Wrath by a minute, and allows us to hammer while Avenging Wrath is up. Sounds like a gimme for everything in the row. Take the Interrupt, take the Haste bonus, take the Seals of Command, and take 2 of 3 Sanctified Wrath. I promise you will backfill. Selfless Healer. When you heal others with Word of Glory, it increases the effectiveness of the heal by 50% and increases your total damage done by 4% per charge of Holy Power for 10 seconds. We also have Repentance, which is an incapacitate that lasts, I believe, 6 seconds in PvP, and Divine Purpose, which gives the following abilities: 40% chance to provide you with a charge of Holy Power. Definitely pick up Divine Purpose, because the more Holy Power you get, the faster you kill shit. And also grab Repentance, because the incapacitate is nice for tracing down someone. Which leaves 2 more points. I would not take Selfless Healer unless you run in a pre-made a lot and you're going to heal the flag carrier or someone else who's taking massive damage. Because if I'm going to spend the time to heal, it's going to be on myself in a pug so I can kill someone faster. Which would be considered possibly counterproductive, because I could use that holy power to use a Templar's Verdict, but it's rather to be alive and do less damage than dead and do no damage. So, these last 2 points will be maxing out Long Arm of Law and Sanctified Wrath. Now, we have Inquiry of Faith, which will increase the periodic damage of Seal of Truth by 30% and the duration of Inquisition by 150%. Inquisition is your level 81 ability, and it will increase the holy damage you cause, so increased duration on that is nice, as well as the periodic damage increase on Seal of Truth will be excellent, because I use Seal of Truth to make sure rogues don't get away from me, and if that ticks harder, that's even more fantastic. We also have Arts of Sacrifice, which reduces the cooldown and mana cost of Hand of Freedom, Salvation, and Sacrifice. In addition, Cleanse will remove 1 movement impairing effect if cast on self. The reduced cooldown on Hand of Freedom is amazing. And then Cleanse now has a purpose other than getting rid of poisons and diseases off me. It'll remove all the slowing crap. Awesome. Take that. If anything, take 1 out of 2 of that, and you could put this point somewhere else that you disagree with me on. Because even 1 point will cause Cleanse to remove movement impairing effects, and you could go pick up Divine Storm if you wanted to. Or one of 2 Guardians' Favor. But I'm going to put 2 in there to reduce the cooldown on Hand of Freedom. And then I'm going to pick up Zealotry, because if I want to Zerg someone down, it'll be nice to have. Next, we have the 5 points we can spend on other trees or the same tree. Could pick up more crit, self-heal additionally when I heal someone, some haste, some increased healing done to and by me, some damage on my seals. Word of Glory, could not consume holy power. Honestly, I am going to grab Pursuit of Justice for the increased run speed, and Guardian's Favor for the increased Hand of Freedom duration, leaving 1 point. I guess I'll pick up Divine Storm because I don't like leaving half-filled points. If you disagree with what I did, I would suggest Arbiter of the Light is nice, because that's 12% more crit on Judge and Templar's Verdict. Judgments of the Pure is nice, 9% more haste means swinging faster, as well as reducing the cooldown on your Crusader Strike due to Sanctity of Battle talent. Also, you could look at Seals of the Pure to increase damage of your seals, and Eternal Glory wouldn't be a half bad idea either, because you'd be able to heal yourself and perhaps still have that holy power left over to throw a Templar's Verdict at them. I would not recommend Divinity, because simply increasing healing done to and by yourself, unless you specifically run with a healer, that's not what a priority would be, because you wouldn't need to worry about healing yourself if you could Zerg someone down faster. And then Protector of the Innocent, not a bad idea if you find yourself using Word of Glory more than Templar's Verdict, which if you do, there's something wrong. You could not have enough PvP gear, perhaps. That's my recommendation for a PvP Retribution Paladin spec. Go ahead and disagree with it in the comment sections below. Please leave a reason why. Make it constructive criticism, not simply just saying it's a bad idea. If you can explain why it's a bad idea, perhaps I'll agree with you. Now, this has been Sethaldor the Kingslayer on the server Blade's Edge in the Guild Sacrilege. Thank you for watching Sethaldor's World of Warcraft Guides, and I cannot wait to put another one out for you all. See you later.